friends, I quit my job a year ago. I've been waiting to film this update for you guys, and I came to the recent realization that I don't think I'll ever feel ready to film an update for you guys because I was waiting for myself to get on my own feet, feel like I was making enough income, feel like I was in a successful enough position to be sharing my story with you guys. And I just realized that, I'll always be chasing that. I've already learned so many lessons over the year since I quit my 9-to-5 job that I'm ready to share them with you guys and share my experience, and hopefully it will be helpful in some kind of capacity. So I don't think I've had a very straightforward journey since I quit my job last year. I didn't quit my job with much of a plan or having clients lined up. Like, I knew what I wanted to do, but nothing was set up already. I was fairly confident with my skills though. I thought if I had enough clients that I'd be able to do freelance work consistently enough that I wouldn't have to go looking back for more contract work or going back to previous roles. And yeah, I just thought I'd be able to be self-employed the entire time. The reality though is that I have not. So yes, today I want to talk about what quitting your 9-to-5 could potentially look like for you. This is a very realistic, unfiltered story. It's my story, and I'm ready to share it with you guys. First though, I actually am at the mall right now. I need to go get some clothes. There's a few things on my list that I'm hoping to find. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then we will hop right back into my story. And I'm also going to put the timestamps here for everything we're going to cover today, in case you guys want to jump around the video and hear different parts of my quitting my 9-to-5 job journey and my freelance story. So that sounds good. Let's get right into it.
Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Come and see.
Okay, so we switched locations, and I just want to emphasize the importance of relationships before I get into the story. Friendships are so important. No matter what I've done, like what contract I've started or previous roles that I went back for or anything like that, a lot of it was through friends or friends of friends. And I think that's one of the most important things that I learned about freelancing this year is how important networking is, and how much I avoided it before and how much I need to work on it now and improve my networking skills. So yeah, this is a breakdown of my freelance journey, quitting my 9-to-5 job story, and how my life has looked ever since I quit my 9-to-5 job last year. I'm going to share some advice and tips along the way, all the pros and cons, highs and lows, so that hopefully any of you who are thinking of quitting your 9-to-5 job may learn something from this, and I hope that it will set you up better than I was set up when I quit my job. Also, my voice is just like dying, so I think I'm actually going to go get some Starbucks right now, and then I promise we will continue this. ASMR. I got my Starbucks. I'm ready to continue now. Sorry, my voice is so gone. So anyways, I have my phone here so I can check the dates. It was May of 2022 that I quit my 9-to-5. For those of you who haven't been watching my channel for a while, then you may not know, I was working as a full-time graphic designer for a startup company. I really liked my job, I really did, and I only did it for a year and already felt like I learned so much in that short amount of time. And honestly, I think I could have learned a lot more by staying, but there were just certain factors that made me feel like it was the right time to quit. One of the main ones was that I was still living at home with my parents. I still am. And I thought if I move out in a year or so, which is what I would like to do, the risk will be so much higher of trying to start this business and get it off the ground. So it just made sense financially, and like the timing just made sense, and I just trusted my gut. So I quit in May 2022. I knew I always wanted to start a business. During COVID, it was always like something that was in the back of my mind that I wanted to do. Is why I went into graphic design, was just I love the idea of freelancing and working anywhere in the world. So I quit my job May 2022. Honestly, this was great timing because I call them my internet besties, my two friends in the States. We had planned a trip for Washington, D.C. in May. And so it was like as soon as I quit my job, I got to fly to the States and visit my two friends and have a really lovely time with them and have like a little bit of a work break. And then when I came back to start freelancing, someone that I had a company I'd previously worked for asked me if I wanted to come back to work for them. It wasn't in a freelancing field, it was as a liability analyst, and I actually said yes to this as a contract position and said I could only do like 5 hours max per day for them, and then the rest of the time I wanted to focus on building my business. This was kind of like a band-aid. It felt safe, like it was like I have money coming in. I don't feel like I'm burning through my bank account while trying to start this business, which was really nice. And I loved the company that I was, getting to work for again. But sometimes I think like maybe if I hadn't done that, it would have put a little bit more fire up my ass to get things rolling, because I was quite comfortable and I felt quite safe even if I didn't have a lot of freelance work coming in. But it gave me time to set things up. And talking about setting things up, it was an embarrassing start. I mean, my first website was terrible, but I think there's just something about making sure that you just go and do something. So many people are scared to just start with imperfection that they never get started. So I don't regret that I started with like a terrible website and I was going into web design. I was getting used to the program that I was going to use to build all the websites for my clients and just playing around with that. So if I can find the first prototype, like pictures of my first website, I'll put them up on the screen for you guys. But it was quite embarrassing. I know things were said about my website. You hear things with a grapevine. It was an embarrassing start, but you know what? I'm proud of, where my website's at now. It took a lot of work and just trial and error, and I just think that's what business and starting a business is all about. And my first few graphic design clients were all through like friends of friends or people I knew, and I'm not the most proud of those projects either because I may have worked as an in-house graphic designer, but I never had to build logos for people yet. So that was completely new to me. But again, this gave me time to like figure out what I needed, what the steps were, how to go about working with a client. I'm really thankful for the friends that gave me that chance, even if they didn't end up using the logo that I made for them. I think it wasn't the end of the world because I also didn't charge friends much. I probably undercharged, honestly. I felt like an imposter still with starting this business. And so that's kind of how that summer went of 2022. Okay, we get into the fall of 2022. I decide I want to be a digital nomad. I want to do the traveling, even though my website and business is not really fully set up like it was getting there, but I didn't have a lot of clients while I was traveling. But I was like, you know what, this is something I really want to do. I'm gonna go do it. So in the fall, I went to Europe for 2 months, and honestly, it didn't feel like a super digital nomad experience because I ended up seeing friends in a lot of different places, and it was really hard to consistently do work when my routine was always changing. Like I was changing locations every week, and the Wi-Fi wasn't great, and I did have like one client that I was doing some website work for, but it honestly was a bit of a disaster. It was hard being able to meet with them when there was no Wi-Fi in the places I was staying at. I was running to like find cafes to work at, and it wasn't an ideal experience as a digital nomad. I also felt like I went into quite a lot of my savings because I was definitely spending more than I was making with freelance work in those 2 months, but I don't regret it at all. I think it was an amazing experience, and I'd always played with the idea of moving to Europe, which is something that's still at the back of my mind with a European passport, but this gave me like a bit more of like a taste of what it would be like to live there. I think next time if I was to do it again, I would pick one location and stay there for maybe like a month to 3 months and just build like a routine, make it like a home, really live in that place, and it'll be easier to do work abroad that way too when you have a routine. So that's my little advice, I guess, if anyone wants to try the digital nomad thing as well. Okay, so end of 2022, I get back in December. I'm sitting at home thinking, oh my gosh, I've gone through so much money. What do I do? And I go back to doing that liability analyst contract work every couple hours a day. And I also start thinking like, okay, I gotta hustle. How am I gonna get more clients? How am I gonna get this business rolling? And here comes in an amazing friend in my life, someone I've talked about on my channel a lot, Paige West. She has an amazing YouTube channel. I probably say that a lot, but it's because it's true. And she was one of the people who inspired me to quit my 9-to-5 job. She did it about a year before me, and she does freelance work as well. And I ended up becoming her video editor while I was away in Europe, and then it continued after. And we also started working on some projects together. So that was super exciting. So Paige, if you're watching this, thank you so much. You have been an amazing support, an amazing friend, and it's also amazing working with you. So, but this is what I'm talking about with networking and relationships. Like Paige has brought in so much experience, possibilities just from being friends with her, and we've never actually met in person. We met through YouTube, funny enough. And so I just think networking, whether it's online or in person or through friends of friends, I can't emphasize how important it is. One, it's an amazing thing to be able to work with someone that you just like enjoy their company, but two, like the possibilities that other people will provide, because people like friends of mine that I didn't even think were gonna give me opportunities and help me out, people are nice. I like to think optimistically. People, at least in my life, have been very kind, and I could go on a tangent about this for a while, so I'm going to stop talking about this now. But relationships, networking, key. Okay, so building my skills. As I mentioned, I was doing video editing for Paige, which has been great. I love video editing, which is why I have my own YouTube channel as well. I did more website work with her and some clients together. We still work together on different projects, which is really exciting, and things coming up, which I'll see if I can show you guys in the future. And then my main focus this year coming into 2023 was just finding more clients, getting more work experience, and trying to bring more money into my business. My main issue too for work was that a lot of people have WordPress websites, which I don't like WordPress, or they use like very standard websites and haven't heard of Showit before. And I don't have a sales background. I don't think that's like my natural strength. So it's been like figuring out how to tell people about Showit and convince them that they should use Showit and work with me. Showit's a website platform builder for anyone who hasn't heard of it before. I also wanted to play around with more Shopify sites. That's something I'm very comfortable with, integrating that with Showit sites, working on more people's logos and branding packages. My ideal setup is to do the whole thing. So a new business or like a rebrand of a business, the logo, the branding package, and then the website, because when it all comes together like that, it's just so beautiful. And that's something that I really want to help out with smaller businesses and local businesses. So where am I at currently? So things take an interesting turn. Alice decides about a month or so ago to drop the contract work, the Band-Aid, take it off. I thought, okay, this is not, I love this company, but the skills I'm building as a liability analyst and the energy I'm pouring into it isn't helping my business in any way. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm happy to go back to do some work, whether it's contract, part-time, even full-time, in a role where at least the work will be related to what I'm doing in my business and I'm learning skills from. So funny enough, I actually heard from this place that I also previously did work at, and they said, hey, we have a short contract. It goes until November 2023 from July, I believe. And it is full-time, but it's a role that I've done before, so it's not like super stressful to learn the ropes again. And they mentioned that, jobs are opening for that. So I applied, started working with them in July of 2023. So now I work a full-time job, but it's from home, it's remote, and I work as a freelancer as well. So really a lot of my freelancing work is after hours, after 5. But this role is not a stressful role. I can work on things at lunch. If I really need to take a call with Paige, I take it early in the morning at like 8 a.m. because this role doesn't start till 9. I've been able to work around it because I work at home. And honestly, I think this was a really great decision. I'm an e-commerce advisor. I've been helping a lot more with just like talking to clients about marketing plans and helping them get a micro grant. But the experience of talking to clients, setting up meetings, working through their like marketing plans, giving them advice on like what to do next, all super helpful, and it relates to my business. And we had training on like Shopify and Lightspeed and everything's again at the beginning of the contract, which were really great refreshers. And it feels really good to be working in a field that relates to what my business is, so that at the end of the day, I've learned things that are going to help my own business. And also this job is not one of those ones that like is super energy draining. So when I'm done at the end of the day, I have energy to keep working on my freelance stuff. So it's been a win-win. I never thought I was going to go back to a full-time job, but here we are. It's just till November though. There's a little bit of panic in the back of my mind right now thinking, okay, I have to make sure that when November comes, I have enough clients in my own business's pipeline to live on it. There's no Band-Aid this time. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I have to go back to another full-time job. I don't know. I can't tell you guys for sure how it's going to go. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to have enough clients keep coming in that by November, I can finally say freelance is the only thing I do and I am fully self-employed. So that's kind of a look at my own journey. I'm really excited to show you guys where I end up at the end of this year, or like even next year. I really want to do more traveling, maybe live abroad, try the digital nomad thing again. What are my future goals? Well, as I mentioned, I would love to be fully self-employed. I want to incorporate more of my work with personal branding too. I've seen a lot of success for other businesses where they bring more of their self into their business, because I try to keep mine a little bit separate from me right now. But I think with like AI and like just the way the world's revolving, people love that human contact. And yes, I know by having a personal brand, it would be harder to sell a business or anything like that. I don't really plan to sell my business. This is something like I want to do because I love it. And I'm happy to like merge my personal branding with my business's branding. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe that's something I do soon and we'll like show you guys how I do all of that. But yeah, that is my story. That's where I am so far. It's been an interesting year full of travels and highs and lows, embarrassing moments, but also like just moments where I'm so grateful for the people in my life and opportunities that people have given me. And I guess another thing I want to mention is if you're not just relying on relationships, cold calling. something that I never thought I was good at, but I feel like I might have figured out a way to do it better now. So as I mentioned, sales talk, not my strength. But I realized, I was sitting there every day and I was like, what is my strength? I can build websites really quick and pull branding elements together from things that people already have. They don't even have to go out and get new things. We can make it work. We can make it look good. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll find clients and then I'm going to quickly pull their stuff together into a sample and tailor it to them, the client that I would like to work with, and send it as a sample. And if they're interested, maybe I'll get a bite. And so far, I think I've done this with 4 people, and 1 person has gotten back to me, and we're currently talking. I hope that the deal moves forward. We're currently at a point where they're like,
what is Show It? I've never used that for my website before.
So I'm working on how to figure out how that conversation is going to go. But if I keep doing this and it works, then I will definitely make a video on how to cold call successfully, get new clients by reaching out of the blue, and maybe have some templates and stuff ready for you guys as well. So for any of you who are also freelancers, stay tuned for that. That might be something in the works in the near future. I'm just checking I have no other notes to go over. Okay, yes, before I end this video, key lessons learned. 1, networking. I know, gross. I don't like networking either, although I'm learning to love it a lot more now. So extremely important. 2, don't be shy. Let those that know you help you, family and friends to start. 3, expanding your circle will expand your work opportunities. 4, create a plan before you quit if you can, such as like setting up a website, having clients that have already reached out and are like you're talking with. Create mock-up projects and a social media account to promote yourself. Don't obsess over this though, because nothing will ever feel perfect, so sometimes it's better just to start. And if you try the digital nomad life, have a good home base, Wi-Fi, consistent routine, all that's important while working abroad. 6, get creative with cold calling. What are your strengths? Find a way to showcase these. 7, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be embarrassed. It's normal. And those who judge your failure or like embarrassing moments are just not worthy of your time anyways. And lastly, number 8 is to believe in yourself. Try something until it sticks. Eventually it will work. I keep telling myself that too. I will keep you guys updated. But yeah, I would really love for my channel to become like a community where people can support each other, chasing each other's dreams. Because I think if you keep trying, eventually it will work. I do believe that. So you guys got this. Let me know in the comments if any of you have quit your job recently or are thinking about it. And I will talk to you guys all in my next video very, very soon with a normal voice and no cold next time. So I'll talk to you guys then.
It's
Bye.
where the people came to play.